So, namaste and welcome to Satsang. And I'm really glad that we're all here together in Satsang. It's the last Satsang for a couple of weeks because of the Christmas holidays, and I thought it would be really nice to gather together in meditation to begin the Satsang together. And just a quick note to say that if you are new, if this is your first Satsang, then you're very, very welcome. Really, really happy that you're here. And all we need to do is just show up and just be open and listen. Let's not try hard with anything, with the meditation we're going to do, or with anything. We're just listening, we're just being here together. And that is enough. If our hearts are open and our desire is sincere for awakening, that is enough. And we can just be here together. So on that note, let's find ourselves a nice, comfortable position, as comfortable as you can right now. For the next 15 or 20 minutes, we're going to meditate together. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed. There's no difference either way, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you don't have to sit in any particular position, just whatever's comfortable for you. And we're going to use a particular name for the infinite being in this meditation, the one being that we all are. I'm going to call it stillness today. And it has many names. You have many names. There's the one formless reality, the supreme self, the one without a second. But for clarity and ease, I'm just going to call you stillness tonight. And the meditation itself is really easy and simple, and you cannot get it wrong. So we can all just relax into it. Let's just start by taking a few nice deep breaths together. Just taking a moment and inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. And just as you inhale, just giving yourself permission to be here. Perhaps we've had a busy day or our day's just starting, lots to do afterwards. Just taking this time to be together, very sacred time together. Inhaling, exhaling. And as you're breathing, just allowing your chest and your belly to move, not just the chest or just the belly. Belly and chest moving together as you inhale and exhale, just gently, not forcing anything. Just taking a slightly deeper breath than you would do normally. And then bringing attention to what is here right now. The breathing is just going on. We can let it happen by itself. Your body's here. Whatever's going on in your environment. And if there's any thoughts, we're just going to let them come and go. We're not going to fight with anything in this meditation. And there's no goal to reach. So as the mind moves and thought arises, or an emotion surges, or we notice a sensation in the body, just notice that sense of stillness in which it moves and arises. Everything that moves, comes and goes, is noticed by something that isn't moving, that is just stillness. And so, whatever arises for you, maybe the mind is talking, maybe the body's moving, even these words are just happening in the stillness itself. So we're only noticing what's already here. There's some kind of stillness in which all phenomena move. Whatever phenomenon arises, either something on the inside like a thought, an emotion, sensation, or on the outside, a sound in your environment, a car driving past. Whatever it is, we're just going to use it to help us notice that which sees it. The stillness perceives all change and movement, all coming and going, is watched from stillness. And if ever you find yourself distracted or a bit lost, it's totally okay. Or if your mind wants to know what to do, you're simply just favoring attention resting on the stillness itself, letting the phenomena come and go. We are just watching as stillness. What we look at changes, comes and goes. The manifestation is always moving, but you are stillness itself, already free, already at rest. Just stillness, watching the movement, bringing attention back to that stillness that you are. You're just here, just this. And if at any time you find that your attention has wandered back to thoughts, sensations, sounds, just bring it back to that which is watching, that which is seeing, stillness itself. You can't see stillness with our eyes, but we can know it's here. We're simply coming to recognize ourselves as stillness. There's nowhere for us to get to, nothing we need to become. Just stillness watching the movement, unaffected, untouched by anything that moves in manifestation. So just bringing attention back, if it's wandered away from stillness, bringing it back, resting attention on the stillness. In a few moments, we will bring the meditation to a close. But before we do that, we can gently set an intention that we remain more and more aware of the stillness that is already here, already free. And that just because the meditation ends, that we don't have to rush back into our old way of being. And so whenever you're ready, and only if you want to, you can open your eyes, have a move around, have a stretch, take a drink if you need to. So I hope that you enjoyed the meditation, a little moment of stillness. And all we're doing as we're meditating is just bringing attention back to that which is already free, already still, already at peace, and bringing attention away from the movement and the phenomena as being the main event. As we bring attention back to what is real, the stillness itself, over and over again, each day when we meditate, it just becomes clearer to us that we're not really a person trying to get to stillness or become stillness. It becomes more evident that we are stillness itself. And so I hope you enjoyed the meditation, and I'd like to open it up here if there are any questions or any challenges that you're having at the moment. Feel free to raise your hand. We'll see how many we can get through in the time that we have. Start with Helen. Hi,
Hi,
Lynn.
Helen.
Hi. Good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too, Helen. Um, I'm wondering, since I am the stillness, shouldn't I, when I'm meditating, when I'm being the awareness, be able to know everything? If I'm looking from the oneness, wouldn't I then know how big the galaxy is, whether there's life on other planets, what's happening on the other side of the world? Yeah. Is that clear, that question?
I think so, but if not, if I haven't got it, let me know. I'll have a go. Uh,
Thank you.
what would it be like to know everything? Would it be to know it phenomenally, or would the knowing of everything be that you know everything to be stillness? You've recognized every object to be the stillness also. So to be all-knowing, to be omniscient, rather than knowing every single object and knowing things about those objects, it's more of a resting in the knowledge that everything is stillness. In that knowing, there are some capacities and capabilities that become available to us um, that aren't available when we think we're a separate being. We read about those, hear about those from the great beings that have manifested, whether we call them powers or cities, uh, things that become more and more available to us. But even if we were to know every single object uh, as an object, could you have that knowing in your mind and body? What would it be like to know every single object in the entire universe in one place? It would be not
It
really
would blow
something.
my mind.
Yeah, it would be okay for about half a second, I think, and then too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What we do have is this amazing superpower that if we focus on anything long enough, consistently, we come to know what it is. And anything that we need to know about it becomes clear. It's because we ultimately we are that thing that we're focusing on.
yeah,
It's phenomenal knowledge of the universe, so to speak. It would still be an experience that was coming and going as well, right? Can you see that?
yeah, yeah,
What is permanent and stable is the recognition of what you are and therefore what everything else is, because if you know what you are, you know what everything else is by default.
yes,
Mm. But you must
yes.
have
I see.
already experienced insights and epiphanies and intuitions about things, right?
Yes,
And that's um, the fruit of beginning to recognize everything as stillness or awareness. That anything you want to know about it is there to know as stillness.
yes, yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, that does. Yes, that's answered my question perfectly. Thank you.
Well, I'm so glad. Wonderful. Thank you. And good to talk to you again, love. Thank you.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we go to Jane.
Hi, Helen. Nice to meet you.
Hi, love. Nice to meet you.
Um, I was wondering if you might be able to help me do self-inquiry.
Of course,
And
yeah.
I also have a question about silence.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. What would you like to ask and look at?
Well, with the self-inquiry, I've seen I've watched you do it with others and your line of questioning.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
We can dive in and see what happens, yeah?
yes.
Let's start excuse me, let's start with a question and just let me ask you, what do you find when you look for yourself? And there's no right or wrong answers, we're just exploring together.
Um, well, I feel sensations in the body
Yeah,
and I guess thoughts that are familiar because they recur.
yeah, same thoughts again, right? Yeah. Anything else? What else do you find?
Well, when I look in the mirror, I see myself.
Mhm. Do you, or do you see your body?
I see my face and my body, yes.
Yeah. So what is it that knows the body, knows the same old thoughts, knows the sensations? What is it that's aware of them?
Mm. It's hard to put language to it.
Mhm.
Just something back there.
Yeah. Is it a form like your body, or is it something different?
Yeah, no, if I search for it, there's no shape to it.
Yeah. It's not something you could point to or pick up, is it? It's formless, in fact, intangible, insubstantial.
It's intangible, insubstantial. It feels somewhere over here.
Mhm. But even this feeling, even this subtle feeling over here is noticed by something, isn't it? Something sees even that.
That's true.
Yeah. Something sees even this and the tangible body and the thoughts. What is it that's seeing even this subtle feeling? You're doing
Me?
great.
I
Yeah.
guess me?
What is me then? If you can see subtle and tangible objects, are you form or formless?
If I can see subtle, intangible, then I must not be a form.
Mhm. Where are you then?
It feels like here.
Mhm. But really try to find where here is. Really, let's zoom in and really see. Is there actually a place where you stop, where you end?
Not like a physical place,
Mhm.
just like a sense of some wherever I go, this body goes.
So are you bigger than the body?
I think so, because if it has no contour to it,
Yeah. No shape, right?
no shape.
Mm. You're doing great. You want to go a little further, dig a little deeper? Yeah. So if you don't have any shape, if you don't have any form yourself, can you reach an end? Do you stop where the wall is in that room, for example? Can something solid and tangible stop you?
When I close my eyes, it's easier to say no.
Mm.
When I open my eyes, it's harder to say
Yeah,
no.
That's really very normal. It was the same for me as well. So just resting and noticing this. Let's notice it again. This that you are, that is without any shape or form. The forms are appearing inside you, the body, the thoughts, the sensations, but you yourself, you can't find anything tangible about you, actually. So, can you suffer like this formless you, this shapeless you? Can you suffer?
That itself cannot suffer, but I feel the suffering.
Hmm. There is a feeling in the body that we call suffering that's noticed by this, but this itself cannot suffer, right?
No.
Were you born then? This real you? The body's born, but what about you?
I guess not, because then it'll have to have like a mother to give
Yeah,
birth to it.
yeah. And can you die then, this real you? If you had no beginning, such as a birth, can you have an ending?
I want to say no.
It's okay if there's a little doubt. Some of the questions you might feel, yeah, I'm really 100% certain on that one. Other ones, 75%, right? It's how it starts for us all. And do you have anything to transcend or let go of as this formless, shapeless you? Any
No.
problems?
It itself, no.
Do you need anything? Are you lacking anything?
It's not lacking anything.
Yeah, beautiful. How does your body feel when you notice this? Is there any fear or tension or peace?
It's more like I want to say familiarity, but it's even
Mm.
more than familiarity.
Yeah. For me, it was like recognizing something that had always been there, but had never actually been seen somehow, noticed somehow, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now just as often as you can, coming back to recognizing that this shapeless, formless you, it's all already here, already free of problems, unable to suffer, unable to die or be born. It doesn't fit in those categories. Everything that applies to a form doesn't apply to this real you, does it? You're not growing old here. You're not
No.
getting sick.
No.
And just coming back and experiencing this again and again as often as you want to, as long as it feels enjoyable. Let me just ask you one more question, if that's okay. Um, is this real you affected by the mind?
Uh, no.
Wow. Is it affected by anything? Are you affected by anything?
Probably not.
So it remains for us to keep seeing this, experiencing it like you're doing now. And then when your mind gives you a problem, says this thing is wrong, you need to look at this. Just taking what the mind says and comparing it to experiencing what you really are. The mind says, oh, you're going to forget this. You're going to forget what you've seen on this satsang, right? You forget what you've seen about yourself. Can that be true? Did you have to work hard or did you just notice what's always been here? what you always have been.
Yeah, just notice.
Just noticing, yeah. And we're not changing into this. We're just noticing this is what I find when I look for myself. I find the body and everything else, of course, but the only thing that's stable, that's not going to go away about me is this. Has it always been here, this real you?
Now that I notice it, it must have always been here.
Yeah. But it never shouts for attention like the mind does it? So it kind of it's just silently here. It's just what we are, and we just haven't really noticed. This is really looking in the mirror now, right? Now you're really seeing yourself. It's like looking in a mirror, recognizing this real you. Yeah. Wonderful.
How would I know? How do I equate myself with this? How does one say this is one? Like I equals this. Does it eventually just happen or?
Well, when we looked for what you are, you found the body, of course, and the thoughts and sensations. But when we asked what you really are, you looked and you found this shapeless you.
Yeah.
And let's just double check. Let's experience the shapeless, formless you again together, and everyone can. Is there a person? Is there a seeker running around inside this shapeless, formless you? Is there a person in there?
Not really, no.
No. There's a body, there's thoughts, there's all of that, but who they belong to is this shapeless formlessness. Not a person, not a seeker.
No.
So for me, just by looking and seeing what I really was already, and then looking and not finding a seeker or a person again and again, not finding it again. Every time I looked, there was no person even here. It just began to become clearer and with more and more certainty every time I looked, this is what I am. This is what I've always been. I'm just seeing it clearly now. Nothing's changing over. I'm just, like we said, looking in the mirror and recognize, oh, this is what I've been. Then it becomes, every time we look, it's more certain. It feels more true, more obvious. So we just look again and again.
May I ask you something about silence?
Yeah.
No, that silence is another word for stillness,
Mm-hmm.
which we experienced in the meditation just now. Um, so I've been trying very hard to listen to the silence while sounds are around, and to a point where I'm not sure if this is all in my imagination.
Let's check in again with the real you, the formless, shapeless you. Is it making noise or is it completely silent?
It's not making noise.
Can it make noise?
No, or else I would have heard it a long time ago.
It's because it's silent and it's silently listening to noise. Right now, it's silently listening to these words, isn't it? You are that silence. Yeah. Sometimes the sounds, the words, the noises, the noisy mind actually help us contrast more. We can see there's something here that's not making any sound at all. Wonderful.
I think I understand. You're saying that silence is not out there when this like intermingling with sounds. That silence is this,
Absolute. Yeah, absolutely here.
and then there are sounds in that silence.
Silence is just another name for the shapeless you, right? We also called it stillness tonight. If you look at the shapeless, formless you again, it's not moving, is it? It's completely still,
Yeah.
completely silent. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Your inquiry has helped everyone, I'm sure, as well. It's always good to see it. Well done. Thank you. We'll go to Amna.
Hello.
Hi, love. Glad
So
I got to talk to you because I don't think we had time last time. So glad that you put your hand up again.
thank you. I want to start by asking, like, as I was following along,
Mhm.
um, there was a lot of fear.
Yeah.
I was experiencing a lot of fear.
Yeah.
What is that about?
The mind, when we discover who we really are, it's who we really are, but it's also very shocking, isn't it? Because it's not, we might have heard 1,000 times that we're formless, we're shapeless, we're not a person. But to actually experience that, for some parts of us, it's very shocking because all of our life, all of our desires, our hopes, even our awakening, why we came to Satsang in the first place, is usually for this imaginary person to try to wake up and then to suddenly experience that it's just not there. And the mind can sometimes, it was very liberating for me to see that, but also there's a lot of fear came up at the same time, intensely curious, like, wow, the person's just never, it's not there, who I thought I was. But there's also a lot of fear because my mind felt like I was going to really lose something important if I carried on looking at this, something important about myself. We can we can ask this question gently together. We could ask the fear, what is it scared of? What is it worried about?
Well, I was noticing like trying to get it
Mhm.
and also like trying to give a shape to that
Yeah.
awareness.
Because it's not anything that the mind can grasp. It has no quality, we can only describe it in negation. It's intangible, formless, and invisible. So mind is going to try to pick it up and look at it and make a concept or a picture of it, but it can't really. There's literally no way to describe what it is that you are. Maybe you can use the word awareness, but it's really just a word that points to some mystery, isn't it?
Does that loosen? Like, does that fear loosen? Because I don't even know. Maybe I don't even know if I got it.
Let's have a look. What is it you want to explore? We can have a look together. We've got time if you want to. What is it that the fear says? What is it scared of?
Well, like the first thing that came up is I don't get it.
Yeah. Is there anything here to get, or is it just a seeing of what's here?
Okay, can I just like can I be honest with my answers?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So the seeing is getting it.
Yeah. It's not something we come to through an intellectual understanding, is it? It's just a seeing. Oh, this is what I am. This is what I am. This awareness is what's here.
Yeah, and it comes up like it's not safe.
Yeah. It feels risky to the mind because the mind is sure that you are a person. It can't see awareness. It can only think about awareness. So it's like to the mind, it's totally blind to this. So it kind of panics a bit sometimes and freaks out because it says, don't go any further because we can't be sure what's here, what will happen if you go deeper into seeing this. Something like that, right? My mind said.
Yeah, and it's like we don't know how to do that. Like we don't know how to live from that place.
Because there is no doing there, right? There's no how to live from that place. There's only really clearer and clearer recognition every time we look that we're already living from that place. And the one that wants to learn how to live from here is the illusion, is the imaginary person. If we take for a moment the perspective of awareness, if we could ask awareness, it would say, what is there to do? I'm just here. I'm awareness already. But the mind wants a job, right? It wants to be doing something.
Yeah, and it wants to grab.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? That's okay. There's nothing going wrong there. That's just what mind does. It's just mind's function. It wants to pick it up and look at it and turn it around and like a new toy and that's what it is. And it's frustrating for the mind. It's the first time it's come across anything that it can't do that with. So you can just for me there was just a little compassion developed for the mind, like, wow, it can't really see what I actually am. So it might be a little fearful for a while.
So it's not for the mind to see what I actually am.
Yeah, I mean, how do you know awareness is here? Is it the mind that's seeing it? When you see that, recognize that you really are, which we're calling awareness, but you're not seeing it with your physical eyes or hearing it with your ears, are you?
No.
And you're not thinking about it. You're not using the mind to think about it. It's more of a direct seeing and knowing, a recognition before thought. Awareness is here. If I ask you right now, is awareness here? There's a
Yeah.
looking and a seeing, not a thinking, right?
Yeah. And there's fear.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
it's okay. Totally normal. And we can help the fear by just reminding ourselves that nothing is changing over here. We're only seeing what's always been true. We're only seeing what we've always been. That's all. Nothing's going to change in that.
That softens a lot.
For me, there was this fear that arose. I'm going to lose everything I thought I knew about myself. Everything is going to go. But myself has always been this. Why should anything change over just because I'm finally recognizing it? It's something relaxed a bit inside about that, you know? And if we check, we can see this awareness has always been here. If it wanted to get rid of anything, it would have done it years ago, eons ago, right? It's just always been here, just here. And it's not even trying to get rid of our ego or anything, is it? It's not even like awareness is like now the person must go. It doesn't really care in that way. He doesn't even see mind or ego as a bad thing, awareness, does it? How does awareness feel about the mind?
It's fine with it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at that. That's cute. It's just mind's fears, isn't it? That awareness is this big bad thing that when we finally recognize it, it's going to come and exterminate the mind or something. But it's always been there and it's never done anything like that. So there's a relaxation, right, when you begin to get that.
Last time I wanted to ask you, is it okay if I...
Yeah, we've got time.
So from what I recall, you were talking, the invitation was to notice that we don't need to do things, that if something needs to be done, the body will just move.
Yeah.
And this, what came up inside of me is this figuring out.
Mhm.
And I notice when I figure something out, or like I notice like a desire to figure something out, and then I figure it out, and I move in the direction of resolving the problem, then I feel better.
Can you prove you figured it out though? Can you prove that you made the body move in that direction?
Like made the
Sorry, go ahead.
like made the body move and trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Can you prove that you ever made well, let me phrase that in a different way. Like, what is awareness actually doing? Is it thinking?
No,
Is it deciding?
no.
Is it busy solving problems? Kind of a trick question, sorry, but having a little fun.
No.
So the question that arose for me when I recognized this is, well, how do problems get solved then? What is it that's figuring something out and then moving to fix the problem, you know? All I could really find was that it must be happening somehow by itself, like a natural movement in manifestation by itself. Are you doing anything?
I'm noticing wanting to take credit. Like I figured it out, and I.
Yeah. You know, this is going to cost you all your successes and all your failures, right? You have to eventually we have to admit I never failed at anything. I also never really succeeded at anything. The things that I thought I succeeded at were going to happen anyway. Awareness that I am is just watching.
Why am I choosing to identify with my body mind rather than awareness then?
Are you? Is awareness even identifying?
No.
So free that we're not even actually the one identifying. It's a thought, right, that says, I am this body, a thought in a head somewhere. And then later, another thought says, I am awareness. We pick that up as we're the one doing that. But actually, when I check formless awareness, it can't identify. It's just not capable. It's insubstantial. Very real, but not tangible at all. Nothing can stick to it. It's got no attachments, right? It's got no karmic patterns. It doesn't even have to free itself of illusion. It's just already free. Now you're smiling, right? Sophia gone now.
Uh, it like softened a lot.
Yeah. Just from remembering we're only seeing what we've always been. Nothing's going to change, except there'll be more peace inside, more joy as you're seeing, more lightness. Things get done without anyone doing them. You know, the body will move without any struggle going on inside.
So the
Even the
figure,
self-inquiry is just happening, really, isn't it? Can we really say we're even doing this?
well, awareness isn't doing it.
Yeah. It's just kind of happening by itself, like it was destined to happen at a certain point. Yeah. When awareness is bored of thinking itself to be a phenomenon, it starts to recognize itself and nothing will stop it. Just take a moment to savor that. It's delicious, isn't it? Just How are you feeling now?
There's a like wanting to grab.
Mm.
There's an internal, it's softened a lot, but there's still wanting.
It'll be there for a little while, right? Every time you notice that you can just kind of come back to, I'm already this, I'm already this. Something wants to hold on right now. I don't want to lose this. But you didn't
And
get in
I,
it.
and I want to be there forever.
Can you ever not be? Can you ever not be awareness?
I can lose the awareness of it.
But are you suddenly, even if you're focused completely on thoughts, are you still awareness?
Yeah.
Even if you're lost in separation for 6 more lifetimes, are you still awareness? Not that we're going to do that, we've had enough of that, but can you lose this?
It, it's always here.
Yeah, it's always here, and it is already what you are. Let's just double check that you're not a person running around inside awareness. Can you find a person running around inside awareness, or is there just awareness?
There's a person running inside awareness.
Is it really a person? Look a little closer and see what it is. Is it an actual person that needs to reach awareness? Or is it more just like an energy or something? A vibration?
Well, it's sensations.
Yeah. What do they mean to you as awareness? What do you have to do about it?
You're seeing like an image of awareness as like on the beach. Just
With its feet up, just relaxing in the sun while the seeker runs around, around, around trying to find awareness. And we're just realizing I've always had my feet up. I've always been sat in the sun, relaxing. I've never been the guy running up and down the beach trying to find something. Very freeing.
it's possible to live from that place.
You're already doing it. And just as you recognize this more and more, this that you really are, this that you've always been, it will just start to permeate more of your life. More of your thoughts will be in line with this, more of your actions. Even if your mind says, ah, you've lost it, something can't quite believe that fully now, not 100%. Every time you see, I still already am awareness, that percentage goes right down until when the mind says one day you've lost it, and you just think it's hilarious. It's the best joke you've ever heard because you can't believe it at all that you've ever lost it. You didn't gain this, right? It's not something we achieved together in this inquiry. It was just a seeing of what you've always been. And you will always be this. Whether attention is on it or not, you are it still.
So whenever I notice I'm in identification, is there a fast track?
Come back to recognizing what is it that notices even that? What is it that notices the seekingness, getting caught up? And reminding, seeing, experiencing who you really are. any problem you seem to have at all, especially the spiritual problems, you know. I'm stuck in identification again. How do I come out? Is that even me? Let me just check in and see who I really am now.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been wonderful. Really, really enjoyed both the inquiries. Thank you. Wonderful. So we'll finish with Tanya when you're ready.
Oh, hi, Helen.
Hi, love.
Okay, so it's kind of a two-parter, but I think it's the same thing. I've had in my meditations have been fantastic, and there's been a lot of peace and stillness and relaxation. However, yesterday and today, I have found it very difficult. One, because, and this happens from time to time, where my mind is repeating something over and over again. So it could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why it happens, but it does. And then I notice that it's happening. And sometimes when I notice when it's happening, and I've noticed this in meditation, that as soon as I notice, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's quiet again and peaceful. But like recently, even when I notice that it's happening, it doesn't stop happening. Shouldn't it stop happening like before? And if I'm still hearing it over and over again, yet I'm aware of awareness at the same time, then am I not following the thought because it's not going away? It just keeps repeating over and over. I'm kind of confused here.
Okay, it's okay. For me, it was always random song lyrics, which
That
just
too.
pop in during anything that the mind could think in order to keep thinking. It would do because it was terrified if it stopped thinking, it would disappear or something. But anytime something pops up, some thoughts or something, if we notice awareness that's watching them, when attention is on awareness, does awareness need the phenomenon, the thought or whatever to go away? Something wants the thought to go away, but is it awareness?
No.
The mind says the thoughts, the noise should stop because that's when there's peace. But actually, it's different. It's actually noticing that which does not need anything to change, to be different about this moment. That's where the peace is. When attention is on awareness, it's kind of just including the noise, right? There's no pushing away, there's no grabbing onto the thoughts, the noise. It's just there. Awareness doesn't need it to go away or for anything to be different, like you said.
Then how do you know if you're grabbing onto the thought or if you're just noticing that it's happening in awareness?
If attention is on awareness, you can't be grabbing or pushing at all. Right?
Okay.
It's just a resting of attention on awareness, and it becomes clear that actually awareness is what I am, and that is formless. And it can't push or pull. That's actually something that's happening in the mind. The mind is trying to grab something or push against something. But from awareness, when attention is resting on awareness, there's a non-doing there, right? It's just a resting of attention. Yeah. So taking refuge in that which is already still and free and peaceful and doesn't need the phenomenal world to be different at all. whether inside phenomena of thoughts and sensations or outside sounds and things like that. There's something that already is totally okay with this moment. And if we don't believe this idea that peace is going to come when the mind becomes quiet, because it's not true, right? At least not permanent. We might have temporary respite when the mind is quiet. But we don't want to rely upon that. We want to notice what's already here, and it's already free, already not suffering, whatever is happening in phenomena, whether the mind's silent or crazy, intensely busy. Awareness is always not disturbed, completely free. To prove that right now, right? If we notice what's aware of these words, it's not caught up in anything, is it? It's just here.
Okay.
And let's remind ourselves that the goal of meditation is not to get rid of phenomena. It's only to use them to help us contrast and see. By the presence of the thought, we can see that something's seeing it. So we're not battling or trying to get rid of anything. All phenomena are helping us to meditate, in fact, even thoughts. To point us back to awareness again and again.
Okay. I think I see what you're saying now. So then I think my other question is kind of similar but different. So when you're talking to the other girl and you were talking about like there was a grasping, we're going back to the doer.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's revisit the doer again. Okay. So I know that awareness itself isn't doing thinking, grasping. I see that very clearly.
Mhm.
But again, where I get confused is when, then how do you know if something really needs to be done to do that? And okay, like this is the doer thing again. Like, how do you know when you should do or stay? If there's no doer and there's no grasping and there's no whatever, then how do you know when you should be acting and when you're overacting? Do you know what I mean? Do you get the question? I think it's kind of the same but different, but involves
Yeah.
do.
For me, as it was clear that awareness or silence, whatever we're calling it, is what I am, and that is already free, not doing anything. There was the body kind of gently switched into a different way of moving. It would move to do something that needed to be done when it was time to do it. No matter how much I thought this thing should get done sooner, it wouldn't. It would do it at a certain time, and that was it. And it came down to the fact that if something needs to be done, I'll know it needs to be done because I'll find my body doing it. And if something doesn't need to be done, my body won't do it because my body is the awareness, is the universe looking like a body. And it has its innate wisdom of the awareness. It is the awareness. So no matter what our mind thinks should or shouldn't be done, the body knows even more clearly and will move to do whatever needs to be done. And it will not do what does not need to be done, no matter how much the mind thinks it should.
So then how do you know what's procrastination, if you're procrastinating or if you actually should be acting on something? Because if you don't,
Is there a person to procrastinate?
again, I want to say no, but I feel
It's
like
okay. It's just something to
procrastination.
It's a very familiar identity we've all had, right? Procrastination. I'm a procrastinator. I used to think I was. But actually, I came to see that the body's natural activities were somehow impeded by the sense of separation. But there was never actually a person who procrastinated. That was another story I had to let go of. Things got done despite resistance. Things got done despite the sense of a person getting in the way of that, right? If there is only awareness taking the shape of all of these forms, how could anything not be done that needs to be done? And if you remember, even intellectually right now, even if it's not a lived experience completely yet, that you are literally everything and everywhere, there's a natural movement of all forms then. They're all moving as one. They're not moving as an infinite number of forms. There's just kind of one movement that we call the universe. We all think we're acting independently, but it's never been that way. Even the idea that we can procrastinate, not true. Let's put a concrete example on it. Let's say you have to make a decision and fill out some paperwork, important paperwork in a week from now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what, Thursday now? Let's say next Wednesday, you have to fill it out and send it off. What happens for most of us is we spend the whole time thinking, worrying about what am I going to write on this form. And then finally on Wednesday evening, the body picks up the pen and fills it out and sends it off. The mind says, finally, I stopped procrastinating and did it. Finally. What a relief. I thought I wasn't going to do it in time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And all that mental anguish and torment in those 6 days. In reality, the body was never going to do it until Wednesday evening. That was the right time to do it. That was the time when the decision was going to arise and the hand was going to pick up the pen and the forms were going to get filled out. That was how it was going to actually flow. And the mind is just thinking about why aren't I doing anything yet in that time, tormenting itself. As you realize this deeper and deeper, the body's much more able to actually pick up the pen now because it's less and less impeded by these why aren't I doing anything thoughts, and the lowering of the life force and the stuff that's going on. And finally, I just kind of learned to ask, when does my body want to do this? It needs to be done by Wednesday evening. So I know it will be done by Wednesday evening, but let's just see when it wants to happen. Because there's really no person deciding in that way. The universe knows. You are the universe. The universe knows it has to be done by Wednesday night. The body at some point between now and then will do it.
So then that would even make it so that even if you were waiting for a decision and you didn't have that decision yet, it would be kind of the same thing. The decision will come when it comes, and everything in between waiting for that decision is mind activity.
It's total fiction. Every thought in between, trying to mull over the decision. Should I go this way or this way? Why can't I decide? All that is a fiction in our heads. I'd say Wednesday night, 7 p.m., a decision is just going to arise spontaneously. This is what I'll do.
Okay.
That was what was always going to happen. The mind says, every thought I thought about it leading up to it made the decision happen. But this was always going to happen. And we realize we can just not do all the anguish and stress all the way through and just what decision wants to arise here. And it's going to be the right decision, the best decision for everyone involved from there.
So kind of like the repeating song or the repeating numbers, or it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. Or even all this thought that we have about how do I reach awakening? How do I stabilize in awakening? How do I make sure I'm meditating right? All of it, right? the body is just going to do it. And awakening is always going to happen, despite our constant thinkingness about it. Even while there's constant thinkingness going on about how to do it, it's happening anyway.
Right.
That just gets clearer and clearer. You can start with small things to prove this to yourself. I'm going to go out for a meal. There's one night I was going out for a meal. This is a long time ago, and I couldn't decide what to wear. Every night, whatever I wear, I don't feel good in. So I'm sitting there on the bed looking at these choices and okay, I'm not going to decide. I was going to wait and see. Sat there, sat there, sat there. And then about 10 minutes before I had to go, the body just got up and got dressed and ready, picked an outfit and went out. And it was literally nothing within me that made that happen as a person. I tried it with small things like this. I'll go to the supermarket. Am I going to pick up this one or this one? Okay, I'm just going to see what my hand reaches for. You just start to trust that more and more as you go. Yeah.
That's hard for me. I've always been what we're discussing.
We all have.
I'm
We all have.
a procrastinator, or I have a hard time making choices, and I feel like
Because you're not making choices.
right.
You have a hard time because you think you're making choices. It's not that we have a hard time making choices. Choices arise spontaneously based on what is best for us at that time and everyone. This thought that I'm deciding, choosing, and doing and thinking is so opposite to what's true that it really gives us pain, right? We think I'm having a hard time making a decision, but I'm actually having a hard time because I think I can make a decision.
Right.
So you find yourself in that mess anymore, just kind of, if you can, just kind of step back and go, wait a minute, and am I actually even needing to decide here? Even what do I do in meditation? Even that question, when something's, you can just kind of, wait a minute, is this my actual issue? Let me see what happens if I just step back metaphorically and see what happens. You're doing great. You're doing absolutely great. You are right on track, despite what the mind says. I promise.
Thank you. This whole evening's been great. Very helpful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much. Thank you. Wonderful. It's a great place to finish the satsang tonight. And as we said just then, if there is no separate being, there's no one to mess this up. What does that mean? It's happening right as it's supposed to and couldn't be any other way, no matter, despite what the mind says. My mind is never going to agree with that, right? It's always going to be saying something's really, really wrong here. So as we rest in who we are more and more, that just becomes clear. It's not true. Everything's right on track. Thank you so much for joining me in satsang, and I will see you in the next satsang after the new year. And I just want to say, just before we finish, really quick, that I know that Christmas and the holidays can be a beautiful time, an amazing time with family, time for sharing and celebrating. But it can also be, for some of us, a very difficult time, a very challenging time. And I just want you to know that if you are one of those people who really struggle at Christmas, that there is so much love available to you, so much help available. And I'm always right here in your heart, so you can reach out inside and I'll be there. And sending you all lots and lots of love. Thank you so much.